over by that heartless Patricia. I'd spend the nights trembling in fear, not trembling in my bed, terrified of what the next day would bring. I'm sure you can understand why I'd want to sneak out of there, right? However, Blaze would have likely sent pursuers after you. Exactly, I was on the run from them every waking moment. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Couldn't even sleep at night, I'd jump at the slightest noise. And that's why I became a circus performer. Blaze DeBest was the chief prosecutor and Patricia Rowland was the warden of the prison. No ordinary person would be a match for those two, and there were no adults I could rely on. Furthermore, behind the scenes was the body double who had set those two in motion. Though he was a fake, I was up against a nation's president. Talk about utter despair, right? My only ally was Mr. Dogan. He saved my life after all. He actually helped me out, unlike Knightley. If this story is true, it's ironic. Dogan, the fiendish assassin, was idolized by the child he saved. If I followed in his footsteps, I'd no longer have to worry about being eaten alive. That's right, now it's my turn. My turn to devour those who would feed upon me. I suppose you never thought to seek help from the police? No way, no way. As long as Blaze was around, any evidence would be destroyed by him. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen today during Patricia's trial? I knew from the very beginning that things would turn out like this. The evidence from Patricia Rowland's trial. So he's saying that he expected the evidence would be destroyed. I see. So that's why you kidnapped John. To force a guilty verdict, even in the absence of evidence. Who's to say? But in order to expose the crimes of 12 years ago, there was no other choice. That's according to you. However, Blaze also attempted to kidnap John in order to manipulate the trial in his favour. Your methods are no different than those of the people you so despise. That's only if I were actually the kidnapper. But I would never do anything so evil. No way, no way, no way, I just simply couldn't. Besides, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm actually quite thankful to the real criminals for giving me the opportunity to extract such sweet revenge. It might have actually been exact, not extract. My bad. So, you admit it, your motive was revenge. Yeah, I admit it. So what? Sure, I held a grudge against those creeps. But it's not like I'm the one who actually killed them, you know? Truth be told, all I did was send some letters. I let Jill in on Blaze's secrets, and let Blaze in on Jill's secrets. And then the two simply ended up trying to kill each other. Do you mean to say the murder was nothing more than the result of that? Yep. Just like the case of at God Lake. It's way easier than trying to control wild animals. Oh. All I did was come up with the fake assassination plan for Knightley. So that was also part of his plan. If that's the case, then Rook's murder was also your... Whoa! Don't try to pin that on me. Knightley killed him all on his own. Well, it ended up creating the perfect opportunity for me. It's funny how things work. How can you say such a thing? It was the same for Patricia Rowland. I made it look like there was a connection between Knightley and Dogan. By using the correspondence chess match. And the chisel in the chessboard. What? You mean to say you were the one who prepared that chisel? That's right. I thought it would bring Dogan to mind. Oh. Quite a thoughtful little gift, wouldn't you agree? And that was all it took to get Patricia to murder Knightley. Oh, the feeling that everyone around you is an enemy. I know it all too well. the tiniest spark can set off an explosion of fear, resulting in horrific mutual destruction. All I did was watch the comedy of errors unfold from the audience. And you were my final pawn, Mr. Edgeworth. A pawn? Me? When you solved their cases, you brought both Blaze and Patricia to their ruin. And the weapon that delivered the coup de grace was your own logic. I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Oh, I know. You never really cared about saving me. You just wanted to pretend to be a defense attorney, didn't you? What did you? All I had to do was go no way, no way, no way, and act all scared. And you totally believed me. You were giving it your all trying to save me. So even your arrest was just a ploy to make me use my logic. To be fair, getting arrested wasn't part of the plan. When people began to suspect that the chisel I sent was the murder weapon, honestly, I broke out in a cold sweat. I thought for sure it would be curtains for me. But then a turnabout of miraculous proportions. The genius prosecutor himself had come to my rescue. Well, doesn't it feel nice to be thanked by me, the one that you saved? You should be grateful. I gave you this chance to play the ace attorney. You're wrong. He wasn't pretending to be a defense attorney. Mr. Edgeworth is always serious about saving people. Oh god. Even the times when he saved me in the past. Kay. Is that so? Are you sure he's not just trying to emulate his own father? The one he admires so much? Absolutely not. That's not true at all. Now, Kay. The person he's talking about now isn't Miles, but rather Simon himself. Clearly he is not able to trust others. The desire to save someone other than himself is something he cannot even comprehend. Say what you want, but make sure you think about it long and hard. Sure, all my targets for revenge got what they deserved in the end. However... Oh, right, okay. Instigating the murder. Think about it. Can any one of my actions really be considered a crime? I instigated murder? There's not a single word about that in the letter, is there? If I had said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation. Well, maybe I did it. Or maybe I did say it. But there's no way for you to prove it. What are you saying? You kidnapped me. I'm sorry, but that hasn't been proven yet, has it? The only thing I admitted to was sending the letters. That's... Besides, those letters contained no threats or coercions. I simply conveyed the information that each recipient would find beneficial. You crafty little... I nearly said something I shouldn't have. I was going to call him a CD next Tuesday. Alright. Can't we do something about it? What was it he said? Integrating murder? Instigating murder is when a person directs someone else to commit murder. The person who directed the murder can be charged as if he committed the crime himself. So we just have to find proof that he directed those murders. You make it sound so easy. To be honest, it kind of pisses me off a little. You're all trying to frame an innocent person for murder. Don't you understand? I'm not obligated to waste any more time on this pointless discussion. The police are waiting for you outside of this tent. You have nowhere to run. Really now? You think I wouldn't have an escape route prepared? For example, let's say... I gave an order so that all the animals here attacked you. Now, what if I were to take my leave during the ensuing chaos? What'd you say? You can't be serious. It was just an example. Wouldn't that make for an interesting show? Here's another idea. What if I pulled out a hidden gun and took John hostage? That might be more exciting. I will never allow you to do such a thing. Can't tell whether or not Simon is being serious. However, when it comes to him, we should consider anything a possibility. If you continue to bore me with your drivel, I'll end the show right here. Oh damn. I'd like you to keep that in mind before you make any baseless objections. I cannot make any careless remarks. Isn't there some way I can charge him with his crimes? Wait, am I able to press? Or does it take it away? Like, do I lose health if I press the wrong thing? I'll see. I'll press 1. If I lose health, then fuck it. You incited others to commit murder, and they did so. If proof of that was established, you would be charged as if you yourself committed the murders. I know I heard it just a while ago, but what's the technical term again? It's instigating murder, Kay. Blaze, Patricia, Roland, and Knightley. Wait, instigated all of them? Oh, right, yeah, I did. Their crimes are unforgivable, of course. However, the one who pulled the strings from behind the scenes and drove them all to murder was none other than you, Simon Keyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you really do speak your mind freely. Well, you know... Oh. Okay, I can press. Good. I instigated murder, there's not a single word about that in the letter, is there? There's not a single word? Oh, does that surprise you? You'd reach the same conclusion if you examined it. Given his composure, I'd say he's not bluffing. Does this mean that every single word in his letters had been carefully calculated? Well, I guess you could say this is like teaching a monkey to climb a tree. Unless you can somehow prove that I caused those murders, you've got nothing on me. Ergo, you can't accuse me of instigating murder. What a shame, Mr. Edgeworth. If I said the word kill even once, I guess it could be considered instigation. I know you instigated the murders. Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze to Best to kill Jill Crane. What? You told me yourself. You have no proof. Well, you know, the funny thing is, it means absolutely nothing if you have no proof. I mean, there's no way I'd ever say something like that. No way, no way, no way. That's certainly true. It means absolutely nothing if I can't prove it. If there was some evidence that could prove what he said over the phone. I wonder, I'm curious. Can I press if I use the mic? Like, the hold it thing. So if I just press hold down M. Actually, wait. Well, maybe I did say there's no way for you to prove it. I'm just curious. Okay, that does not work. I figured as much. There is a way to prove it, though. With Nicole's tape recorder, I think. Yeah, there. Because she tapped the wireless frequencies and picked up a bunch of things. She actually heard us talking to him, didn't we? It is my firm conviction that you instigated the murders. After all, you told me so yourself. Perhaps I should let you in on this, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I was the one who ordered Blaze to Best to kill Jill Crane. What? Did I say that? I really don't remember. We have proof, fucko. You may think you can deceive us as much as you want, but unfortunately for you, you used a bug to eavesdrop on our conversations. But there was someone else who wiretapped that bug of yours and recorded the whole thing. It was recorded. In other words, the conversation between you and that clown is recorded on that tape. Blangsy says, you're fucked. Oh. A schemer drowns in his own schemes, and this is what he meant. Miss Swift, I'd like to listen to your tape. Roger. Ah, it's right about here. Ah, yeah, there we go. Mr. Edgeworth, Judge Courtney's cell phone is ringing. Who is this? Are you the person who ambushed Kay? Mr. Edgeworth, I want to listen in on this too. Very well. This is where it starts. Well, I must say... That's odd. What's wrong? Well, there ain't nothing recorded past this point. What? Why? Why wasn't it recorded? Too bad, so sad. Do you really think I'd leave behind any incriminating evidence? The bug I planted has a special feature. It can be turned on and off with a remote control. What? That sort of thing exists? Certainly remote-controlled listening devices do exist, however... Are you saying you switched off the device so that your own voice would not be recorded? Precisely. Impossible. You couldn't have done that unless you knew you were being recorded. Isn't it obvious I knew? Guess you just don't get it. You could call it a hunch. I had a feeling I was being wiretapped. Miss Swift, was it? I figured things out because you knew about the kidnapping. Don't tell me. You were listening in on that conversation. That's right. Though, come to think of it, I'm surprised you didn't realise it until now. Some genius prosecutor you turned out to be, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh my, what was the end result of all this? Ah, since you don't have any proof of the instigation charges, it's game over. Mr. Prosecutor, was my recording no help to you at all? Ain't there something? Anything at all in my recording? Miss Swift. Kay? Yes? The bug was planted in your badge, right? Do you have any ideas? How do you expect me to come up with an answer right off the top of my head? You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit. How unsightly. You're all fussing over useless evidence. Let's move on to the next topic. Next. What's this? He seems a bit eager to change the topic of conversation. You were the only one who came into contact with the culprit. Only Kay came into contact with Simon. If any sound was recorded at the time she was with the culprit... Miss Swift, how long have you been recording? Since 2 nights ago, I reckon? Oh! Isn't that nice? Since 2 nights ago, in that case... When could a conversation with Simon possibly have been recorded? 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, Simon brought Kay to the roof. If we listen to the recording from that time frame... Miss Swift, please let us listen to the recording from 2 nights ago. Huh? Okie dokie. There's the fire. This is... the sound of a hot air balloon. That's right. At the time, Simon was carrying Kay in a hot air balloon. Ergo, he was near Kay. Isn't there anything recorded? Ooh! Bang and a clang. That was... a gunshot. It seems you were quick to deactivate the bug. However, you were a little too late. You can't run anymore. That gunshot ties you to the case. Huh? What are you saying? There's no gun involved in this case, is there? No, but there should be someone connected to the case who fired a gun. Let's strike with the evidence that points to that person. Which piece of evidence connects the gunshot to the case? Wasn't there gunpowder? Like residue on his hand? There it is. Gunpowder's residue was found on his right hand. Alright. It's written right here in the body double's autopsy report. Gunpowder residue was detected on his right hand. Where was Kay at the time this gunshot was recorded? That's right, she was being carried to the roof of the Grand Tower in your balloon. It turns out, there were a few more people on that very same rooftop at the time. You mean, the double and me? Certainly, after we talked for a brief moment, the body double noticed something and had me leave before him. Now, what if the gunshot rang out after that? We can clearly hear it in the recording. I doubt that you wouldn't have noticed it. Do you intend to feign ignorance until the very end? That's nothing more than mere conjecture. What we heard on the recording was not just a gunshot. We heard a clang too. If you listen closely, you can hear the bullet hitting something. If the body double was aiming at Simon, then... So the bullet must have struck which piece of evidence? The balloon? Probably the balloon. The body double likely fired the gun at the balloon. If we assume that the bullet hit something, it would have been the balloon's basket. Let's examine it immediately. Oh, just the basket. Aha! Holy crap. One hell of a hole. This hole. It's a bullet hole. A bullet hole was found in the basket. We won't be able to talk your way out of this one. So, placed in trunk. Didn't mention a bullet. Oh well. How do you intend to explain the gunshot and the bullet hole? So, you figured it out. You're good. I guess it's impossible to hide anything from you. Spit it out already. Okay, no need to get impatient. Alright, another one of these. Okay, so 2 nights ago. It happened when I was riding the balloon to the rooftop. I saw the body double in you, Miss Courtney, on the roof. Talk about a surprise. Oh, pardon me. Once the double noticed me, he told Miss Courtney to leave ahead of him. He then pointed a gun at me and fired. Oh. Why did he want to shoot down the balloon? It's simple. The body double had intended to kill Miss Courtney. Kill me? That's right. You talked to the double about John, didn't you? Well, it's not like the body double would have met with you otherwise. From his point of view, it was like showing him evidence that he was the fake. You mean he was afraid of Judge Courtney because she knew about John's past? Afraid? That's exactly right. That body double was a coward after all. You remember how his hands were trembling when he fired the gun at my balloon? Are we all clear now? I was only there by chance. Just a friendly witness who was passing by. Yeah, sure. 2 nights ago. Whew. Around what time was that? I think it was around 11 PM. It should coincide with the time Miss Courtney and company were on the roof, right? Yes, it was indeed around that time. There doesn't seem to be any contradictions. However, the time frame is important. It was at that moment... Are you saying this rooftop rendezvous was beyond your expectations? There's no way I could have known about that beforehand. Well, once the dust settled, I could have guessed what would have happened, though. The double had intended to kill Miss Courtney. Hey, did you realize that? No, I did not realize it. It's because you were blabbing on and on about that kid. What kind of mother are you? If things had gone badly, your kid might have died because of you. I'm your opponent, not her. Don't change the conversation. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to please leave this to me. My apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, Goddess of Law. Please watch over this man and grant him aid. You're making me laugh. This lady didn't even notice the balloon. So only the double noticed me. Told Miss Courtney to leave ahead of him. He had her leave ahead of him. Didn't you say the body double had planned to kill her? Maybe he thought it would be bad if someone saw the scene of the murder. At the time, no one knew that the President was a fake, right? Once he got the info on John, he'd be able to kill both mother and son whenever he wanted. Thank goodness he's dead. Now you're both safe. You should be happy. Whatever emotions you have towards that man, please put them aside until it's all over. For now, please continue the story. As you wish. And so, that cowardly body double must have panicked when an eyewitness suddenly appeared from the skies. He then pointed a gun at me and fired. The bullet struck the balloon's basket cleanly. I panicked and quickly tried to get away so he wouldn't shoot me down, but talk about a close call. You said you tried to get away right then. That's right. Is there a problem? Is there a problem with that statement? Yeah. I didn't put Kay anywhere. You must have placed Kay on the rooftop. You couldn't have gotten away before then, correct? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. After the body double fired one shot, he entered the hatch on the 51st floor. I looked around for a bit and then landed on the roof. Please add that statement to your testimony. Sure, I don't mind. As the double fired one shot, he entered the hatch to the 51st floor. Pretty sure he didn't. The President never passed through the 51st floor storeroom. Boom. Man, I'm getting really tired. It is nearly 3 AM, but still. Once again, you lied. Lied? The body double could not have entered the storeroom on the 51st floor 2 nights ago. Miss Hart's testimony proves it. What? How can you trust that sham journalist's testimony? What'd you say? You can't insult my mentor like that. 2 nights ago, that lady was staking out the 51st floor. Given that, just how did the body double leave the roof? Indeed, that is what we must now prove. Wait, if he did not use the elevator or the 51st floor to leave the roof, then only one route remains. The balloon? Really? I really should have... yeah, done it the other way around. Whatever. The body double flew. He... flew? Simon Keys, he rode in your balloon. Hey, stop joking around. Why would I have needed to give the body double a lift? The elevator had a security camera, and the 51st floor was being watched by Miss Hart. Your balloon was the only way the body double could have left the roof. At the circus, we often perform dangerous stunts in order to surprise the audience. You think you've got me cornered? Sorry, but the show ends here. What? Hey you, Lotta was it? I'd like to ask you something. You saying you stood watch on the 51st floor the entire time without any breaks? Well reckon, course. There ain't no mistakes in my testimony. You were asleep. Really now, but didn't the sound of Mr. Edgeworth's assistant falling into the storeroom cause you to faint? I didn't mention it before, but after that I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted? Well, something like that. So, something did happen. Miss Hart have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor. What's your point? Nobody's perfect. Look at her, Mr. Edgeworth. That's the kind of person you're relying on. Kay fell into the storeroom after the body double had left the roof. In that case, I have a theory on how things happened. After that cowardly body double fired a shot at me, he went and hid in the shadows until Kay fell into the storeroom. What? So what if he was hiding? Good grief, you guys still haven't noticed. What if the body double stayed hidden until Lotta had fainted? And then he went down to the 51st floor. That can't be. Huh, precisely. The locked room mystery on the roof has been unlocked. He even said it in my voice. But wait, there's more. I told the hidden body double about John Marsh. That's why he attacked John the next day during practice and got himself killed instead. In other words, he's the one who murdered the body double. Oh, the one who murdered the body double was none other than John. John had no motive to kill the body double. He knew he was the real president's son. And how would he have known that? Because I told him so. In a letter. What did you say? That is a lie. Yep, it's all a lie. Huh? But then again, maybe not. Maybe I really did tell him. Right, John? It's true that I caused Mozilla's head to fall. But I didn't know about my dad until today, I'm not lying. Oh really? I wonder about that. I found out about the head falling thanks to the bug.